Blog Talk Radio.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's Saturday, and I don't know what it is about me doing my show. I swear that every time I do my show, I forget what day of the week it is. That's strange, isn't it? I know. Well, good morning, everybody. My children are not awake yet, which is actually quite cool, so I have all the time in the world to dedicate to Sophie and Emily, because I'm sure they're going to want to talk to me on the radio for about 12 hours. Just kidding. Want to cover a couple of really quick news items before we start. First of all, I want to remind everybody, because I just posted it up today. Yes, in fact, we have a physical date to shoot the teaser trailer for my movie, Love's Two-Way Mirror. So number one, if you haven't gone to look at it yet, go to the Facebook page. It's entitled Love's Two-Way Mirror. On there, you'll actually see the website. And if I'm not mistaken, it's my name, which is cindy.mich at Wixsite. And then, of course, it's Love's Two-Way Mirror is the website. Like I said, go to Facebook, check it out. We are doing an actual teaser trailer shoot on March 18th, and that's going to be in Milwaukee, which is my hometown. So anybody that's interested, meaning if you're in Milwaukee or Chicago, I wish I could do New York and New Jersey. I wish I had time to do it, but I don't, sadly. So if anybody wants to participate, be an extra. It's a lot of fun. I'm feeding everybody. You get a chance to meet my new client, Robin Charles, who, in case you didn't hear, is a sensation in the music industry. She is going by leaps and bounds. She's starting to teach. She now has a music publishing company. I'm so proud of her. And you get a chance to meet her live and in person. She'll be performing within the trailer along with Scotty B, who's a local musician friend of ours, and it's going to be lovely. It's just great. It'll be a whole afternoon of fun. I am so excited. I can't stand it. So if you want to participate, please do so. I want to remind everybody Monday at 12 Central Standard Time, I am hosting the host of the show I was just on, which is Badassery Podcast. These are the two owners, which I believe is Stephanie and Melissa. They're going to be coming on my show to talk about all things badass. I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't swear we have a child on the show today, but it's true. So if you can, tune in 12 a.m. Central Standard Time. We have a Tuesday show, which is to be determined. And then Wednesday, don't forget, me and Jimmy P are doing a midnight Eastern Standard Time radio show. We're talking about his film. We're talking about my film. We're talking about his Oscar picks. We're talking about mine. We're talking about his New York City places and mine. I adore this guy. He's phenomenal. Funniest guy you'd ever want to meet. Please tune in on that as far as that goes. And reminder to everybody, we're still selling the calendars, or I should say now catalogs, Art is Alive, the Magic of Indie Movies. And why do we want to buy one of those? Because I'm broke. And how do you make a film? You raise money. So this is one of many ways. It's just a collection of all the various book reviews that I've done for both my film, my show, a little write-up, and it has everything to do with my film festival. And then, of course, all the finalists and the winners from the festival itself are all included along with the festival sponsors. It's very cute. It's really neat. It's cheap. It's like $15. Please order them. Order like 1,000 of them if you will, and then I'll pay for my movie. Just kidding. Just buy one. It's fine. So reminder on that. So I think we're all caught up. So I'm sure you guys are tired of listening to me talk. So let's put Emily and Sophie on the line, and we can start talking to them. Hello?
Hi there.
Okay, I have Emily. Where's Sophie?
Hi there.
Sophie's here. Good morning to both of you. How are you? How are both of you this fine? Well, it's 10:30 here.
Hi.
11:30 there.
We are
Tired.
We're great.
Oh, no. Sophie's tired. That's okay. You know what, Sophie? I'm not going to keep you forever. I understand that. But get through the interview, and then we'll talk a little bit. What we'll do is we'll have Sophie talk first, obviously. And then we'll have Sophie go and step aside, and then we'll do Emily and talk about her a little bit. We'll talk about both of you. This way, then, Sophie doesn't have to talk the whole time. How does that sound?
Great.
Great. Okay, Sophie, I want to start off with you. If you could, please tell your audience your age, the activities you like, and then a little bit about your family.
I'm 9. I'm in 3rd grade. I have a mom, dad, and 3 sisters. No, 2 sisters.
3 sisters. Okay. We want to make sure you don't add an extra sister. Or did you adopt somebody last week? I don't think so. No,
it'll slip up.
I've been. She's so cute because she sounds so sleepy. Now I'm told that you truly enjoy both gymnastics and chess. So, can you tell us what makes you excited to participate in both of those things?
I like gymnastics because I like being part of a team, and I like chess because it's fun and challenging.
Oh, I bet it is. Okay. Now, you must be very special if you have a birthday on Halloween, because Halloween is one of my favorites in the whole wide world. It's really scary and fun. Do you and your family do special things to combine both your birthday and Halloween?
Well, we go out to dinner. This time we went to Red, White, and Pink.
Oh. Do you go to the same restaurant every time?
No. I used to go to Kiku, but I went to Blue Moon 2 times ago.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. That sounds like a lot of fun, actually. Now, one day, I'm going to move to a big city close to your home state, which is I'm going to move to New York. Now, I know that you live in New Jersey, actually, Englewood, New Jersey. So can you tell me some places in New Jersey that I should go to or places that I don't want to miss seeing?
You need to go to Urban Air. It's a trampoline park.
Do they let big people jump on a trampoline there?
Yeah.
They do? Okay. Does your mom jump there too?
No, she just sits and plays on her phone.
It sounds like the typical adult. She plays on the phone. How cute. Okay. All right, let's talk a little bit about you and chess, because that's important, of course. I know you started at the age of 4, and you started doing chess competitions at age 5. So if other girls want to learn at a young age, what are some things that helped you when you first started?
I took chess lessons and played a lot.
You did? Okay, I gotcha. When you first started, was it hard?
No.
It wasn't. Yeah, you must be very smart. I'm very impressed. Your dad was the person that taught you. Now, did he give you any good tips or ideas for when you compete?
Nope.
No, he didn't, really? Okay.
No.
Now, you taught your mom, too, right? And I think it's so cool that children take a skill that they have and teach their parents. When you first taught her, was it hard? Did she get it right away, or did it take a little while?
Well, I taught her an opening, and I taught her how everything moves, and then she read 2 books because she wanted to create my book.
I gotcha. Okay, so Emily, I'll ask you this question then. When she first started teaching you, because she's a child teaching an adult, was it easier for you to understand her? Did she do it in a way that made sense to you, or did it take a little time before you caught on?
She was actually really great at teaching me the basics of how each piece moves, what each piece is, how the game itself moves, and then eventually she's been teaching me some tactics. I don't think I'll ever come anywhere close to her skill level, but she was actually a really great teacher.
Yes. One time she wanted to find my sister, and my sister was trying to capture her rook, but they were in the same line, so it was my mom's turn, and she could capture the queen because nothing was protecting the queen, and neither of them saw it.
Really? Huh. You kind of have an eye for these things. That's really cool, actually. I like that. Yeah, because you're talking to someone who's pretty stupid when it comes to chess. I mean, my sons and I play, and I'm like, I don't get it. He beats me every time. I get frustrated. I'm not very technical, so I think I'd be very hard to teach. But maybe if I know you long enough, you'll be able to teach me, because I'm chess stupid. Oh, I shouldn't say that word. I'm not very smart at chess. I just don't do very well at that. But I'm trying, little by little. Now, my audience, not all of them are active chess players. So could you explain, Sophie, what a chess competition is like?
First you walk in, you check in, you play a game. You play your first round. You wait. You put your results on the board. You play your second round. You wait. You put your results on the board. You keep doing that usually 4 times, and then you get a donut. And it usually lasts
a donut
for 5 hours. The donut usually lasts for 5 hours.
Oh my gosh. So, like, does your mom give you special treats, like, if you do really good? Like, if you're like, oh, yay, Sophie won, do you get a special treat or a special reward outside of it?
Yeah, sometimes I get a donut or frozen yogurt. Or sometimes they have gummies, fruit roll-ups.
Oh, my gosh. Now, when you win an award, like, for instance, because I'm trying to figure out what kind of awards they give you. Like, so do you get a medal, or is it always just trophies?
Well, depends how you do. Like, usually in my section, if you win 1.5, if you win 2.5 games or more, you get a trophy. And if you win 2 games or less, then you don't get anything. But in the other sections, no matter what, you'll at least get a medal depending on how many people there are. You usually need at least 2 points to get a trophy. If you play in section 2.
Okay. Now, as I understand it, because your mom was nice enough to share with me very recently, it wasn't so long ago that you won a competition. Would that be right?
No, you don't say I won a competition. You say I got first place if you win the competition.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much for correcting me. So, Sophie, I understand that you took first place very recently. Can you tell us where you took first place at, meaning where did you compete?
Well, I don't really remember the name of it. Oh, it was in Yonkers, Jersey.
Oh, I gotcha.
And, I got 2 bottles of apple juice there.
Oh, my God, 2 bottles of apple juice and donuts. I'm giving up my day job. No more radio. Sophie, you're going to have to take me with you every time you play chess. I'll just go to every competition. I'll pretend to play, and I'll get that stuff. That's cool.
My mom packed me pita, but I had to throw it away because it was gross.
I understand. Now, if you wouldn't mind, Sophie, I'd like to ask your mom a question about that. So, Emily, obviously we know that recently she had won, she took first place in her competition. So, tell me how, because we talked about this recently. My sons are into wrestling, and so, I took them to competition not so long ago. They had something going on, and we talk a lot about professional sports, and this is considered a sport, if you will, clearly chess. And, of course, sometimes they win, and they do fabulous, and they're excited, and they're on cloud 27. And then sometimes they have a day where they're not happy with themselves, meaning that, let's say, for instance, Sophie didn't do her best, or she felt she didn't do her best. How does she react to that? Because we talk a lot about that, because some kids take it very hard, and it's very rough, and I don't know how the chess world works with that. You know what I mean? Because my kids are in a physical sport. So how does she take to some of that, like when she's not on her A game, or she feels she's not doing as well?
Sure. Something I've personally always admired about her is that she is happy whether she wins or whether she loses. And oftentimes she'll come out of a chess match and you won't really even be able to tell by the look of her face whether she won or she lost. And she just had fun. And I think that's such a great quality about her, because sometimes she does lose, like everyone. And she's such a great sport about it. Sometimes we'll see kids screaming in the hallway or kicking the wall because they lost a game. And she never does that, which is really such an admirable skill, in my opinion, for someone of her young age.
Oh, and yes, that's so cute, actually. That's nice. And it's very admirable, as you're saying, because I know it's tough. It's really hard because kids bring their all to something, and everybody wants to win, and not everybody can win. So that's really encouraging to hear. So way to go, Sophie, on that one. That's awesome. Now, Sophie, you said that mostly boys participate in playing chess. So for that reason, you've made 2 tools to help girls to be empowered and excited and want to engage in playing chess. So the first I know is your pink and yellow polka dot chess set. So first, let's start with that. Tell us how you came up with the idea and the steps you took to make the set.
Well, I thought of the idea because I don't know how I thought of it, but my mom thought of the name.
Now, was it when you...
chess set, So first I bought a plain wood chess set, then I painted the sides pink and the insides pink, and then I put polka dots with yellow on it after it dries, and then after that dries, I put a sealer on. And then I wrap it up in a gift bag.
Is it difficult? Is it a hard project to do?
No. Sometimes my sisters want to help.
Does your mom help you too? Did she actually help with the physical making of it?
A little bit. She buys.
She gets you supplies. Okay, got it. And do they only come in one size?
Yes, and I will never ever make a miniature set because it'll be harder to learn.
I gotcha. Okay, fine. Now, your chess book, which is the second product you have, was written to be kind of a teaching manual for people of all ages, meaning females of all ages. So can you talk to me?
What it is.
I'm sorry?
That is what the book is.
Right. Can you talk to me about what... Sorry, I missed you there. Can you repeat that? I didn't hear that.
It's a teaching manual for something, like whatever a teaching manual is.
I gotcha. Can you tell us a bit about some of the chapters, meaning what's included in the book?
Yeah. So the first thing is the pieces and the value, and then the next thing is how they move, and the thing after that is the just notation, and after that is check and checkmate, tactics, and sample games, and more tactics.
Ah, okay. Now, there's a lot of pieces and a lot of plays to chess. So does that mean it took a long time to write it and put it together?
Yeah, it took 6 months to put it together.
Wow, that's a long time. Wow, I'm very impressed. It took me about that long to do my book too. That's a big accomplishment, Sophie. It really is. And just so you folks know that are listening in, very recently, actually, I went ahead and we've pitched about 25, online 25 and offline 25, so a total of 50 publishers. So everybody cross their fingers and pray very, very hard, because if one of the publishing houses picks up her book, it's going to mean even more phenomenal events and ideas and things that are happening than are right now. So I'm very excited about that one. And of course, just so you folks know, and Sophie, just to clarify, of course, it is in a hardcover copy, so people can buy it in hardcover, right? Like not a soft cover, but a hardcover book.
What does that mean?
That means that thank you, Emily. I bumped up on that one. But yes, it's an actual hardcover, meaning that, sometimes, Sophie, people sell books that are like paperback, which is like soft cover, instead of like the hardcover that you have. So we want everybody to know that they could buy a hardcover copy of it. I think it's really cool and impressive that you've made these accomplishments, that you've made products that help other people. So for the rest of the year in 2018, are there some other things that you're going to be doing? Where, like, for instance, if somebody wants to meet you, can we come to a chess competition and see you play?
Yeah.
You can? Is it open to the public? Is that true, Emily? So people can actually come and watch her play if they want to?
I think so. Well, you can't actually go into the room, but the parents and anyone else could watch from a window or from behind.
I gotcha. Okay, got it. And, of course, I'm going to assume that because you've done a book and you've done a chess set, that hopefully sometime later this year your chess sets are going to be in a store where people can buy them. And we've talked about you're going to actually – go ahead.
Marsha's attic.
Are you saying that there's you're going to – oh, no, go ahead.
She was just saying there's a store in our local town that wants to carry her book.
Yes, it's called Marsha's
attic. Oh, my God.
Attic.
How come I didn't know about this? This is news to me, people. When did this happen? And I didn't do that.
Just a few days ago. We were going to tell you about it today.
Oh, my God, I'm so excited. Tell me more. Tell me more. Where is this store?
Well, it's a store.
It's across the office that we're in right now. It's called Marsha's Attic in Englewood.
Okay. Marsha's Attic in Englewood. Oh, my gosh, this is so exciting. I have to post this all over the place, and I have to tell all my close friends in New Jersey. This is so exciting. I think we should do a book signing there. Do you think they'd be open to that? Yeah? Maybe?
We can ask. We'll have to ask them.
We can always ask. Yeah, we'll have to ask that, and we'll orchestrate that. So, of course, I'm going to assume, Sophie, that we're going to be doing more book signings and events this year. You're going to have your chess set in sort of different places, including the library, as I hear. Also, in addition to which, I understand that your chess set and your book are going to be in a movie. How exciting is that? Is that exciting for you at 9 years old that you're going to be in a movie, kind of, sort of?
What movie?
My movie, silly girl. Didn't anybody tell you? I asked for permission. I did. I asked for permission to put your book and your chess set in my movie. Would that be okay?
No.
She's kidding, of course.
No, I'm going to cry right on here right now. It's never happened. I'm going to cry right now. I'm so going to cry if you don't let me use it. Can I bribe you? What if I bring you yogurt and juice? Would that help? Maybe?
Give me apple juice.
How about if I had Ariana Grande in it? Would that work? Would you let me do it then?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So Ariana Grande.
Yes.
Okay.
Ariana Grande's text for me.
No, what's the name of the other girl? Because we want to talk about that girl. See, I can never remember that girl that you really like. What's her name again? You know.
Victoria Davis or JoJo Siwa?
JoJo Siwa. Tell everybody who JoJo Siwa is, because she had to tell me this.
Siwa.
I just like it. I like it when she talks about JoJo.
Siwa.
It's cute. Well, okay, it's close. I am trying to get it, and I did research her a little bit, but I forget. I didn't spend a lot of time looking at her, but I'm like, she's kind of cool. She really is kind of cool. She's a little girl, folks, just so you know, she's got a bunch of cute different items that are for sale, and you should go check her stuff out, and it'll become pertinent later in the interview. She's cute, and I did research her a little bit, but then I forgot, see, because I'm too busy talking about Sophie, and I'm pretty sure that JoJo has her own following, so I like Sophie. I like talking about her, definitely. Now, either one of you can answer this question. Can you tell everybody how much the chess set costs, how much the book costs, and where they can get it?
You can get it on Amazon.com or at chessforchicas.com.
Right. And how much is it?
The price is, for the book, is $14.99.
Oh, $19.99.
Oh.
Thank you, Mom.
And the chess set is $14.99.
No, the chess set's $24.99. The book's $19.99 and the chess set's $24.99.
Thank you for clarifying that, Emily, because of course we know not everybody's saying, oh my gosh, what are we going to do with this? My goodness. Okay, so let's see. It is February. So what I'm thinking is that when March comes along, I think that people should come and see you. What do you think? Do you think you'll be ready by March to have people come in? To have in March to have people come and see you publicly?
Yes, sir.
Would you be okay with that, Sophie? You would. You're ready.
Come on.
You think?
Yes.
That's so exciting. Okay, good. We'll have to work on that because we'll have information and news relative to that. Okay, so my last question for Sophie is, if somebody's listening today, and let's say they've never played chess before, they're kind of interested in playing in chess, tell them why you think that they should buy your book or why they should buy your chess set.
Because it's good at teaching them how to play chess. And if you buy the chess set and the book, then the stuff in the book you could try on the chess set.
Ah, that's a really good idea.
You know that
Sophie.
Texas bought my book and chess set.
She's so cute. Oh, my gosh. Well, see, if you guys are listening in and you're hearing this right now, you don't need me to tell you why to buy it. She just exactly told you why to buy it. She created it. She's a producer of the entire thing, and she's 9. 9, okay? I'm 48. I can't even make a chess set. I cannot make a chess book. I cannot do everything that she's done already. And I can't win a chess competition. I kind of suck. I'm feeling kind of inadequate right now. But that's okay. I'm very proud of all the work that you've done, Sophie. You are probably my favorite client. Out of all the clients I have right now, you're my absolute favorite. Do you know why? Because you're so cute and you're so sweet and because you work really super hard. And I'm very impressed by you. Just so you know, from me to you, I just want to share that. And I really hope I get to meet you one day because it's kind of weird that I work with your mom all the time, but I never really get to see you. So I'm excited to get to meet you in person next month. And if you were like a grown-up, I would let you be in my movie, but unfortunately I can't afford to put a child in my movie right now, sadly, because I'm doing a union film. But if I do another movie, would you like to be in another movie? Because my kids are going to be in one of my movies. And my kids are little.
Maybe.
Or,
Yeah, maybe.
Not,
yeah.
Yes. Okay, well, I'll let you think about it. Like if I have Ariana Grande, then you'll probably say yes. Or if I have JoJo, I'm not going to say her last name because you make fun of me. If I have those two, then you'll be in the movie for sure, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, you've done a wonderful job, Sophie. I think unless you have any other questions for me, then I guess I'll talk to your mom now, if that's okay.
Good?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
All
sounds
me.
terrific. Now she can have so she can have yogurt, right, Mom? I'm just asking for her. Can she have yogurt now, Mom? Because she did a great job.
Yes, she can.
Awesome.
Great.
Okay, so let's talk to Emily because, first of all, obviously Sophie is a sensation in and of herself, but obviously Sophie had to get her start somewhere, and obviously I'd like to believe that's her mom and dad. Sadly, I don't get a chance to hear about her dad so much, so let's get into a few different things here. So let's backtrack a little bit. Emily, obviously, of course, to start off, begin with, obviously, tell us a bit about just your family in general, and of course, when you started noticing that this thing with Sophie, meaning the chess thing, was going to become something that would be a lot more predominant and something that you want to push her to do a little bit more.
Sure. Well, Sophie, as you know, began playing when she was 4. My husband, her dad, taught her how to play. He's not that good, by the way, but he taught her the basics. And then she began competing in kindergarten and just immediately took to it. And again, as I alluded to before, even when she was in kindergarten, she was so great about losing, always just had a good time, always had fun no matter what happened. And she actually made this astute observation on her own that when she goes to these tournaments, she said in her own words that about 80% of the kids that she plays are boys. And she just said that girls just don't seem that excited about the game. They're not as inclined to learn how to play and to play it. So she really sort of came up with the idea, and of course I helped her a little bit with coming up with a concept for how to get girls more excited and more intrigued about the game the way that she is.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, of course, just so you guys know, Emily does not author books. Emily, as far as I know, doesn't do chess competitions, so she doesn't have that background. So tell folks a little bit about what you do in your day life in terms of that and what it's like to try juggling, because you're obviously trying to build a product line here with your daughter, but also you have a regular day job, you have a family. Tell us how a lot of that works, because I understand that you work in the city, correct, even though you're in Jersey.
I do. Well, I actually run my own business. I have an academic tutoring business, and I have an office in New York City as well as an office in Englewood, New Jersey. And right, we're actually in it. Right, we're in the New Jersey one right now. And I have my doctorate in education and my master's degree in special education, and I just started my business very small and eventually grew it to these different offices. And I think that something I sort of take to this journey that we're on is that along the way, we're going to make mistakes. And I tell my kids all the time that I make mistakes all the time at work, and it's okay. And if I try something and it doesn't work, I just move on to the next thing, and I don't fret about it. And I think that's sort of a message that I try to pass along to Sophie and to my other 2 daughters, Sophie's sisters, is that you don't have to be perfect. We want to have fun. We want to enjoy this journey. And if we make a mistake, that's okay. If we don't win at something, that's okay too. There'll be other opportunities to really excel. And I think that's just making this process, this journey we're on, that much more fun.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, when you speak about the different categories of children that you work with specifically, is there a set age range and then there are target topics that you work on with them? I mean, what intrigues you about doing all this work? This is kind of fascinating.
Yeah, we work with kids as young as the pre-K level and all the way through the adult level. Many of the kids that we happen to work with have special education needs, so a lot of kids with dyslexia, learning disabilities, ADHD, executive functioning challenges. So we really sort of, that's probably really one of the bigger populations of kids that we work with, and it's really very rewarding, very fulfilling to actually help these kids and see how life-changing it could be to teach them how to read or teach them how to solve math problems or how to write, skills that they really many of them were never able to do before.
Nice, very nice. And then, of course, I would also imagine that there's a huge amount of hard work that goes into this. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I realize, of course, you run a business, you get paid to do this, but I imagine there's a lot of emotional weight when it comes to doing work like this. I mean, in a good way, you know what I mean? It's got to be very inspiring and motivating to go to work every day, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I find that a lot of what I do is inherently giving back to these kids and making them feel more self-confident and discover something that they never had before. So it is. It's very fulfilling and emotional, good and sometimes bad, but that's just sort of all part of the package of what I do each day.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, I'm going to assume, and I don't know, so tell us a little bit about, I think your husband exists. I've never seen him. I mean, I've never done an interview with him. I've heard her dad been prefaced a number of times. So, of course, we want to hear about Sophie's dad. And does he have a creative side as well?
Yeah, I mean, he actually also runs his own business. He has a finance company where he does equipment leasing and credit card processing. So he is involved in his own business. He's also really a hands-on dad, does a lot with the kids as well, and is really a very compassionate person and, like I said, really great dad to our daughters.
Oh, that's so sweet. Listen to that. That's like an awe moment on the show. We all just want to reflect on that. That's awesome. It's very exciting. Now, obviously, when somebody gets into the gaming world, like for instance, of course, as you mentioned, Sophie started young and then she started competing, etc. And then, so because we have a client here that's 9 years old, that's one of the good questions that I like to ask folks is when you approached me or anyone about, handling PR and taking on a younger child, how do you decide as mom and business person, because you're not only managing her, but you're also her mother, how do you set safe and healthy boundaries for our kids, meaning that obviously, of course, she could become an overnight sensation. You know what I mean? So when you look at this, how are you keeping things real and realistic with her in terms of setting boundaries so that she's not kind of getting in over her head? You know what I'm saying? Because we have legitimate.
Sure. Well, I think it's really important for me and for my husband that she's remains a kid and that she does kid things. She's really involved in gymnastics. She loves it. She's on a gymnastics team. She plays gymnastics a lot. She has a lot of friends and she goes on play dates. And she's really, most of her life is being a kid, and I don't want to take away from that. So I'm just sort of looking at this as this added journey and this added really cool thing that so many other people and her friends think are really cool, and at her school they think it's really cool. So I'm just trying to make it a really fun, exciting adventure and not something that takes away from her childhood or takes away from the other activities that she really enjoys doing.
Oh, of course, I can imagine. And, clearly the set came out first and then the book came out second, if I've got that right. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay, so let's talk about the set for a minute. When she first created that and took that out there and such, does she use it herself at home, or is it primarily for other people to use? I mean, did she sit at home and actually play with the entire thing herself, or did she just kind of create it for the usage of everyone else?
A little bit of both. She does have a lot of different chess sets at home, and she just sort of switches up. So, yeah, she does use it along with other chess sets as well, I would say. Her sisters sometimes play on it also. So kind of a combination of both.
Nice, very nice. Now, again, when she has a product something like this, or as far as that goes, when you've had people, I'm assuming you've given it to family, friends, etc., what was the initial feedback on something like that? Because I was at the chess store just the other day, actually, and I was looking, and they have, 800 different models. But I rarely ever see ones that are specialized, like, for instance, hers is pink and polka dotted. So I'm not seeing as many specialty ones, like we go to the Game Banister here in town, and it's the traditional sort of thing, etc. So if you would, tell us a bit about what you believe makes her chess set much more distinctive or desirous versus some of the other ones out there.
Sure. I think as you alluded to, many of the chess sets out there, most of them I would say, are kind of plain, sort of dull colors, black and white or brown and ivory, and just not that exciting to look at or that appealing to people who maybe don't know anything about chess. So Sophie and I really talked a lot about this as we were creating it, and we went through many iterations, by the way, of different chess sets and different colors until we came to this one. And I think we just wanted one that was really appealing to look at, that was exciting for girls, that girls would be excited to play on, but maybe at some point she might also make one for boys that's more blue or different colors, but still really appealing and still kind of eye-catching in terms of the colors. So that was really how we landed on these colors, something that would be attractive, appealing, and really fun to look at.
Gotcha. Now, are your other daughters fascinated by this? Or are they kind of like, yeah, that's my sister, she did this? Because I know my boys are like, yeah, I can't stand my brother half the time. Do you know what I mean? So do they get excited about this? Do they play with this at all? Or are they like, just kind of like, this is just another day and this is just Sophie?
Yeah, they actually really enjoy helping to paint the chess set. So sometimes it becomes a little family activity of painting, one of them is painting one pink, one is painting another one, the yellow polka dots, one is doing the sealer. So they like to help out in that part of it.
You betcha. Okay. Now, because I'm a professional author, I know all too well how the gamut works in terms of creating books, but some people may be listening in that are not aware. So obviously, I have written my own books, and of course, I've published them all, etc. Now, let's talk about your process a little bit. So in the beginning, when the idea came about that she wanted to do a book, was it initially her idea, or did you two kind of put heads together and say, hey, why don't we put something on paper?
It was really more her idea, but I helped her run with it. So I helped her kind of solidify her ideas and get it on paper.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, did you solicit the help as an outside editor, or did you put it all together within family?
Well, she and I kind of sort of wrote it together. It was all her ideas, but like I said, I helped transcribe it. And then we found a designer. Sophie we kind of interviewed different designers, and she picked one that she really liked in terms of the style. In terms of the editing, I would say I helped more with the editing, but we did have a designer that helped with the layout and the cover and the colors and all of that.
I gotcha. Okay, so we want to talk a bit about the stigma, and this just might be something that I'm observing, and maybe you can give me your feedback on this. I think there is a stigma when it comes to gaming in general that's a little more challenging than the norm. I think there could be a stigma attached where, somebody looks at a chessboard and they think, oh my God, all these pieces and all these plays and all these rules, and it's so complex. By doing the book itself, did you find that it was important for Sophie or the two of you to kind of make it much more simplistic or a much more friendly game within the course of it? You know what I mean? Because sometimes you read these books and it's so complex, and then you're like, oh, people aren't going to want to read it. So have you made it much more simplistic for individuals to be able to want to play the game or to have more interest in it?
Absolutely. In fact, in some ways, looking back, I almost feel that that's part of why I never learned how to play as a kid. I think I myself was intimidated by it. I thought it was this really intense, strategy-driven game that I would never really be able to learn how to play. But when Sophie taught me, and then I read up a little bit more myself, I really found that on the basic surface level, it's not that hard to learn if it's explained in a very clear and concise way. So that was part of the goal in the book, is to keep it very simple, very easy to read, very easy to learn, so that you might not become a chess master from reading this book, but you can really learn how to play, which is a lifelong skill that has just so much value.
You betcha, without a doubt. And of course, folks, just so you know, it's 81 pages, so it's not extensively long, obviously. It includes various different quiz questions, so you've got that. It's got various different diagrams within the course of there, so you can get familiar with the pieces as well as what the board looks like in terms of that. Also, just the average novice who's listening in right now, let's say that they got both her set and her book, and let's say it was a mother-daughter or father and son thing, and they sat down, etc., and they're working on this. And they spent a weekend initially reading it and then starting to play. So let's say a mom and a daughter are sitting down and doing that. Rough estimate, how much practice do you think actually does it take before you could say, you know what, I'm becoming relatively proficient at this sport?
I would say using Sophie's book and using her chess set or a chess set, I would say probably within 8 to 10 hours of playing and reading and playing, I would say someone could really get it and be able to take off with it.
That's pretty cool, actually, because I would have thought it would have been a heck of a lot more. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I've played backgammon and some of those other things, and I'm like, I feel like I almost have to play it like 70 times. You know, like Sheep's Head, I had to play it like, oh, my God, for months and months and months before I finally started to get the hang of it. But I guess, obviously, of course, if given the right tools, like you've got the book and the accompanying set, it seems like it would be a heck of a lot easier to be able to learn it, of course. I forgot to mention, of course, the book that we're prefacing, just so you guys know, it's called Chess for Chicas, How to Play Chess and Love It. Now, talk to us a bit about the Chica part, because just recently someone was like, you may want to think about changing the Chica part. But I like the Chica concept, right? I mean, I think it's kind of cool.
Yes. I love it. I think it's cool. It's empowering. It's kind of sounds a little more exciting than just chess for girls. So I think it's a little catchier in terms of the way it comes across.
I definitely agree with that, actually. And, folks, when you go and visit it, the chessforchicas.com website, you'll see we've already got a bunch of different reviews from different people who are talking about what they loved about the book and the fact that it's just so concise and considerate in terms of covering different techniques, strategies. It's simplistic. It's an easy to read, very professionally, very well done. And I appreciate that. Thanks so much again to all of our reviewers so far. And we have another 5 or 6 that are coming in, so I'm excited. It's being embraced by the community very well, obviously. On the flip side of the fence, of course, what's nice about the chess set that I noticed is not too big, not too small, if I want to put it that way, because there's a lovely picture up of Sophie and the chess set itself, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. But I have a dumb question, because I understand it looks like a traditional chess set in some ways, meaning that there's the light brown and the dark brown. I was just curious, how come she didn't choose, like, pink pieces? Is that a dumb question? Or would that not work?
No, it's not a dumb question. We actually tried that. We actually tried painting the white pieces or the dark pieces pink, and they just didn't look right. And then she would have.
Specks of brown.
She was saying there were specks of brown. It just didn't quite come out right, and she would then have had to paint the brown squares pink and getting the lines right. just for the purpose of this version at least, didn't really seem feasible. Maybe down the road if she had them manufactured or this sort of was taken to the next level, we would probably consider doing pink and white. But for now, for the purpose of this one, just logistically it made more sense.
I gotcha. I see what you mean. And because, again, we've admitted at the beginning of this interview that I'm not exactly the most chess-savvy person, is there such a thing when you buy a professional set such as this, is there actual maintenance involved with maintaining the set so that it's not tarnished, etc.?
Not really. Nah, pretty user-friendly.
Really? Oh, okay, got it. So, because I was like picturing, don't you have to clean it, or like, don't you have to keep it in a specific box? You know what I'm saying? Because it's wood, right? Because I'm like, sometimes
it
you have
is
to do
wood,
that.
but
Am I
she
wrong?
sprays a sealer on the top, so it's pretty durable.
Okay. I gotcha. Okay, gotcha. I just wanted to make sure of that as far as that goes. Yeah, because she mentioned that, of course, and obviously that, again, is on the Chess for Chicas website, $24.99 that we mentioned. And just keep in mind, folks, you can buy both of these automatically off of the website and put it in the cart and automatically get it there. Usually I'm going to guess it takes 2 to 3 weeks to ship because you ship them all directly from New Jersey, right?
Oh, yeah, but it's less than 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
It's usually within a week that we get them out.
Wonderful. Sounds terrific. Now, we want to talk about one of the other cool things that she offers, which is, of course, she's starting to do the actual Skype lessons. So I'd like you to tell everybody, is there a particular age group for that, what's involved with what she teaches, and how often is she doing it?
Well, she really does all ages, mostly beginners who are learning how to play chess. This is a new venture for her, usually 30-minute lessons, and it's just about introducing the pieces, how they move, their value, and kind of how to play on a very basic level.
Gotcha, of course. Now, for the average person, again, we want to go back to regular, ordinary learning of the game and techniques, etc. Somebody signs up, let's say, next week to do Skyping with her. Rough estimate. How long of a commitment do you think they're going to need to get before they're kind of like, you know what, I can handle this on my own? How long do you think that she'll be maintaining a clientele before they're good?
Well, I think, of course, it depends on the age, the skill level, any background knowledge they may have, the person, if Sophie's chiming in. So I would say I would probably ballpark it between 3 and 6 lessons or so. They probably have a good base for how to play. And then beyond that, I think it just varies depending on the individual.
Oh, you betcha. Absolutely. And, of course, obviously you all have to have Skype capabilities because clearly she's in New Jersey. But if I'm not mistaken, Skype does international, does it not? So even if you're not in country, you could have your sources available, right? I just want to make sure of that because clearly
yes,
we
absolutely.
don't want to screw up on that one. Okay, terrific. Now, when Sophie is not being a chess master, what is Sophie doing? What's the average day for Sophie like?
Well, she loves gymnastics, so she she does gymnastics.
Is all gymnastics.
Yes, and she also, I will admit, she loves making slime. That's her other pastime, is slime with her sisters. In fact, the other day they did it blindfolded.
My God. Oh,
yes.
My God. I thought my kid was the only weird one because my kid makes like this homemade cookie dough stuff, and it looks like slime. I won't lie to you. He makes like all these weird creations, and he used to make masks and things. Okay, so tell me, how does one make slime exactly? This is very strange.
I'm going to have her answer that because I actually don't know. So,
well, depends what type of slime you're making. Well, I usually make fluffy slime or just regular slime, but how to make fluffy slime, you use glue, shaving cream, baking soda, and contact lens solution, or, I usually do glue, shaving cream, and laundry detergent. Laundry detergent's also an activator, but it's a better one because most people have it in their house.
Oh, my God. And your mom lets you do this?
You just use glue and laundry detergent. And to make clear slime, you use glue, baking soda, and contact lens solution. You can't use shaving cream or else it won't be clear.
And what do you do with the slime? Done.
Oh, you just play with it.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, that's too funny. That is too funny. How cute. So you make slime, too. So she does chess sets, she does books, and she does slime. Is there anything you can't do, Sophie?
Yeah. Football.
Football. Okay, got it. We'll steer clear of the football thing. Thank you for explaining that to me. That was too funny. Okay, can I have your mom back, please? Thank you for telling me that.
Sure.
She's so cute. Oh my gosh. So you let her do slime in the house, really? Isn't that like messy and like I don't even want to know what's involved with cleanup on that. That sounds
it's
like
very messy, and they can only do it in one room in the house. It's an isolated room.
Very smart mom there. Look at that. That sounds cool. I gotcha. Okay, got it. So now, obviously, we want to talk about some of the exciting things that have been happening because, for one, I know you just took a segment with New Jersey. So talk a little bit about, what's been exciting in terms of your child.
You know what? We lost you for a second. Say that again.
Okay, can you hear me now? You hear me now?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
I was asking about, obviously, to the listening audience, they may not know some of the places that you've been to. So recently I know you just took a segment with Mich, New Jersey. So obviously that was an actual on-camera experience. And because she's littler, talk a little bit about what that experience was like in terms of, here you are, mom at home with a sensational child, and all of a sudden you're waking up one morning and going to do Mich, New Jersey. That's got to be totally exciting.
Yeah, it was really exciting. Sophie got a special little outfit to wear, and we talked a little bit about what it would be like to be in front of cameras, and there were many different cameras when we were in. But she really was great. She rose to the challenge. It wasn't too long, which I think was probably good for her first camera experience. But she rocked it. She was great.
Oh, my gosh, how exciting is that? That's awesome. And I saw the picture, folks, actually. If you go to the Facebook page, you'll see that she's got a picture, of course. She puts up the videos of the competition, obviously, when she won. That's up there. The Hip New Jersey thing is up there. I know you're being a South Jersey publication, which is 201 Family Magazine, along with the second magazine, folks. And a lot of this is, of course, posted because I do the social media. So if you go on there, you go on Instagram, you go on Twitter, you're going to see there in various publications. She very recently did a show with Bob. I love that show a little bit. Actually, do you happen to know the name of the radio show that you did? I don't mean to sound stupid, folks, but honestly, he never did tell me the name of the radio show itself. You guys had done a radio show besides mine, and Bob Amato is the name of the gentleman, and it's a Long Island radio show, is it not?
It is, and I have to admit I can't think of the name off the top of my head. I have it in my...
I don't think he told me either.
I have it somewhere, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I gotcha. You betcha. So, of course, obviously, two folks that are listening in, here's the goal, obviously, because Emily and I work hand in hand, and I probably talk more to her than I do to my own children. Just kidding, but it feels like it, though, because I'm actually talking to her every day. Just so the game plan, so you guys know, is obviously we've been literally shooting for both magazine and print publication, which goes on an ongoing basis. The set plan is to have Emily and Sophie do radio shows absolutely every week for the next 4 to 6 weeks so that they're getting out in radio as well as in print, as well as in TV as far as that goes. We obviously are about to start setting up actual live events, and as you know, we just told you that we're looking at publishing companies right now. So some of the new and exciting things that are coming up. First of all, so you folks know, as I mentioned, the kit and the book are going to be both in the feature film, or I should say, I call it a feature film because in my head that's what it is, short film, which is my film, Love's Two-Way Mirror. With your permission, I'd like to have you send me both products because we're about to shoot the teaser trailer in Wisconsin, and I would love it if I'd be able to have that in the background there. I think that would be very, very wonderful. So if you guys would send that to me, you can be in the teaser trailer as well. Number two, we're going to be orchestrating some various different book signings. She's going to be doing a bit of teaching because if I have my way, there's that one in New York City that we talked about. There's a shop in New York City that I came across that I would love to have her teach at. And I have a surprise. And I might have mentioned that I have a couple surprises for you. So I'm so excited about this. I like to be able to give my clients surprises, and especially when they're on the radio because they can't really do too much except, oh, my God. So hopefully the reaction will be, oh, my God, which will be exciting. I'm begging with the powers that be that work with, I'm sure you're familiar with the billboard signs in Times Square.
Sure, yeah.
How exciting would it be if you actually had your daughter and her products posted up in Times Square?
That would be unbelievable.
And then would that be okay with Sophie?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. So
she's in a different room now.
Okay.
Yeah,
so there's like a 90% chance that your face is, or your daughter's face is going to be in Times Square. Because I was like, what's the coolest thing that I could ever do for them? Well, who doesn't want their kid in the middle of Times Square, right? How awesome is that? Second of all, what did she say?
She knows she's in a different room. But yeah, no, that would be amazing.
Okay. So, yeah, there's a 90% chance that that's going to happen. I want to say 100%, but I just have to firm it up with someone that I know, because there's a very dear publicist friend of mine that I was like, can we just trade off? Because typically, it's just so you folks know, it's not very cheap to get your face out there, especially not in Times Square. So it's a bit of work. But I have a lot of friends, and some people owe me favors, so I'm like, let's just get this done. So I think that would be absolutely awesome. So that's number one.
Cool, yeah.
Obviously, of course, to those of you that don't know, I've just started representing the very beautiful, the very radiant, the very talented Robin Charles. And I'm working as we speak to establish her kind of on her own ground. She's got this beautiful music publishing company, and she's got all sorts of endeavors happening. But, the minute that you say her name, most people are synonymous, of course, with her legendary father, Ray Charles. So she was very gracious enough to have a conversation with me, and she's very excited. And I have a way, and I'm not going to give it away yet, but I will be aligning forces with Sophie and Robin Charles, and they're going to produce something and put it together that's going to be monumental. So you're going to have your product taken to the next level in the next month or two. So I'm super excited about that opportunity. Well, I try very hard. I mean, I'm a firm believer, because most that listen to my show already know I have a 13-year-old that produced a comic book, and I think it's legendary when you have little people that do magnanimous things. So I feel compelled to step up my game 150%. So it's important to me that my clients are happy. It's important that the kids are happy. That's a big thing. So these are exciting things. Now, I did reach out to Ariana Grande and JoJo. I can't say her last name, but I wish I could say to you, yes, they're going to meet Sophie in person, but I still don't have an answer yet. So I'm still working on that. So I was like, that would be exciting for Sophie. But I'm like, I think these are good enough things for right now. So,
absolutely. Those are great.
Now, if I were to ask Emily a year from now, where does Emily want to be, and where does Emily want Sophie to be a year from now?
Gosh, I think that's a tricky question. I mean, I'd love to see her have continued success and continued fun with this journey of expanding her book, expanding her chess products, getting more girls empowered and motivated to play the game, and just really spreading the word of what a great game it is and why everyone should love it the way that she does.
Oh, without a doubt, absolutely. And we also don't want to forget to mention this part, because I know that in the past your daughters have gotten together, put heads together, and you have your YouTube channel, of course. And I know on a regular basis she has been posting up different things. She explains chess, she explains pins, she explains checkmates, various different pieces, etc. So going forward, how often is she going to be putting those YouTube videos up? Because people can actually go watch that and get a sense of what she does.
Yeah, we're aiming for once a week. It's sort of our goal at this point.
I gotcha. Okay. And is she comfortable with the on-camera thing? I mean, does it feel easy and simplistic for her to sit down and film these things?
Absolutely. She does great with them.
That's awesome. See, she gets more participation from her child than I do with mine, because now that my son's 13, he's like, you know what, you just do this whole book thing, and like it's your thing, and I'm kind of like, he's kind of growing out of that. But I'm like, I admire the fact that she works so diligently to try to produce her own product. That's awesome. Yeah. Now, there's a couple different business things that we need to do before we wrap the show up, because now my children are finally awake, and I don't want to take you away from your two children, or 3 children too long, excuse me. A couple different things. Just so you know, about 2 hours after the show gets done, it becomes archived, and most folks that listen to my show know this. So I'll send you the actual link from Blog Talk Radio so that you have that. Obviously, of course, I'll send it to you so that you can put it on your YouTube channel. I'll also put it on my YouTube channel. So this way, people can, from now till eternity, Sophie will have her interview here, and she can go back to it anytime she likes. So that's out there. Second of all, to you folks listening in, let me rail off the 800 ways to find Chess for Chicas. First of all, the website itself, which is www.chessforchicas.com. She actually has a YouTube channel so that you can go ahead and you can find her on there. If you go to youtube.com, obviously, it's called Chess Chica, so you can find her on YouTube. She also has herself an Instagram, which we're building right now, which is, of course, again, called Chess for Chicas. And she also has her Twitter handle, actually. And I was having a little issue with that. We finally worked it out, thank you, Jesus. So, of course, that's called Chess Chica as well. I think I might have not mentioned this, but let me go back to the Facebook page, of course. And we do regular updates as much as humanly possible. I'm going to keep going on that a little bit more, but again, it's called Chess for Chicas there. Her name, of course, the creator, which is Sophie, and the last name is spelled Gutter. Emily is her mom, and the same last name, Gutter. If folks are listening in and they want to take advantage of your services, Emily, what are the ways that they can find you?
My services in my professional life, you mean?
Yeah, that is correct.
Oh, sure. Well, my learning center is called EBL Coaching, and we have a website, eblcoaching.com. That's probably the best way to find out about those services.
Okay, wonderful. And are you currently taking on clients, just so people know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good deal, because we definitely want to make sure we take advantage of that. Okay, awesome, as far as that
Thank
goes.
you.
Now, clearly, it goes without saying that if you guys go ahead and to go to the website and all these other various places, then this way you guys will get an opportunity to follow her. As she mentioned, you can go ahead and solicit her services. In the future, of course, obviously listen to my radio show or look on my personal page or on the radio show page or on her page as it relates to updates for Sophie, where she's going to be as far as live events and signings. Obviously, you already know about my movie. She's going to be in that. Keep your eyes open for the Hip New Jersey segment, as well as listening to some of the past reviews. If any of you are listening out there and you're a book reviewer and you want to take an e-copy of it and be able to read it and review it, we welcome taking more reviews. Obviously, that goes without saying. If you want to have Sophie be a part of your actual event, if you have something going on in the gaming world. Also, we are just about to solicit, you guys didn't know this, but I think it's almost that time where we're going to start looking at gaming conventions and look more for that in the future as far as this goes. So I would be comfortable by saying by the end of 2018, you're going to find her spread across the board, whether it's at gaming cons, whether it's at special events, whether it's at book signings, whether it's in Times Square. She's going to be all over the place. And I'm so proud and honored to be able to do that. I'm so excited. So the last part of my show is always what I call the best part, which is I get to tell you what I think of you. And I do that.
I love hearing that. Okay.
Well, I do this because, anybody can do journalistic research. Let's say you weren't my client and research you. Anybody can do that. I mean, there's nothing special to that, I think, in some regards. But the fact that I get to say what I think of you, it makes it a bit unique, and then people understand what you are from a personal standpoint as well. So that's part of what we do, and then I'll let you get on to your day, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you after the fact. So, folks, these are my impressions of both Emily and Sophie, and hopefully you'll appreciate them and it'll get you excited about getting to know who they are. The first time that I met Emily actually was through, thank you, Jesus, a publicist friend. We have a mutual friend, you and I. It was a publicist. We have a very large publicity group, and somebody said, hey, there's this woman that's looking to get PR for her lovely daughter who happens to be an author. And, of course, I jumped on the chance because most of you who know me already know that I have a special affinity for people that work in the same field as myself. I think authors don't nearly get enough recognition or get enough accolades or appreciation, to be honest with you. The fact that she was a child was so endearing to me. And I reached out to Emily, and Emily I found right off the bat, I'm not going to lie to you, of all the people that I've ever approached for services, she was the nicest. She was very cooperative. She wasn't over demanding. She wasn't over excessive in her need to talk to me every 5 seconds of the day. It was so enchanting to me. I'm like, she's such a lovely person right off the bat. And then the more I started talking about her, this is what I found out. First and foremost, she's so excited to let Sophie become Sophie. She's not looking at her child like she's a product. She's not looking at her kid like there's unrealistic expectations. She has no dreams of grandeur and that tomorrow she's going to wake up and Sophie's all of a sudden going to be on Good Morning America. And it's like, oh, my God, she's an overnight sensation. She's very realistic about this. She appreciates and adores her child more than I can tell you. She is the most beautiful person. I finally got to meet her in New York City this last trip around. And she walks into this room, and she's this little tiny person, and I was so intimidated. She doesn't know this, but I was completely intimidated because whenever I meet my clients, I'm like, what if she hates me? What if she really said that she likes me and all this time I'm doing a bad job? And she's, like, not impressed. I'm like, oh, my God. And she was so lovely to me. She got to meet some of the people from my film festival, some of my feature actors. And I will tell you, she is nothing short of impressive herself. It is no surprise to me why Sophie is as amazing as she is, because she comes from such wonderful stock. Emily is so gracious and giving and sweet and attentive and understanding. I could not ask to know a better person. The biggest honor in handling both of them is the fact that I've become their friend, that I've become their number one cheerleader. And it's not because they pay me. It's because of the fact that I genuinely want to see both of them succeed. I could not be more humbled that someone actually trusts me with their child, with their product, and they are patient and giving and loving and sweet. And you're just such a godsend. I cannot thank you enough for the opportunity to do this. I think Sophie is a wonderful child, and I hope one day she says, been nice to know you, see you, bye. Why? Because she won't need me anymore. Why? Because she is herself on her own, this lovely, wonderful creature that I helped at one part of my life. And you, my dear friend, I can't thank you enough just for knowing me, just your presence in my life, even when you say goodbye, and hopefully you never will, but if you do, I just want to know I'd love to keep you for life. You've just been such an enchanting experience. So thank you. That's what I think.
Those words are absolutely touching, and thank you. The feeling is mutual. You have been wonderful as well, and Sophie and I both look forward to our continued growing relationship.
I know, right? It's absolutely wonderful. It is. It's so terrific. And I'm sorry that I had to make you guys, block you into a schedule today. But it's weird with Blog Talk Radio. Like, you can't do, 10:15 or 10:45. It's always, 10, 10:30, 11. It's like they're very stringent on this stuff. So it's kind of weird.
It worked out fine.
But we got it in. It did. It worked out very well. And I'll be in touch with you later today on some of the stuff we talked about today as far as that goes and some of the stuff that's coming up for the next week. We'll get an organization on that. The last thing I want you to say before you get off air is this. In terms of, do you guys foresee doing another product before the end of the year? That's the last thing I just wanted to touch on. Has there been talks about that? Because you haven't really said anything.
Yes, I think one thing Sophie's really excited about is to do kind of a whole kit, which would contain her chess set, her chess book, a chess notation log, and then she wants to get a Chess for Chicas really cool pen to go along with it. So she has this idea of doing this whole kit, amongst many other ideas, but I think that's the one that excites her the most.
And the only reason I asked it is because I don't know if you're familiar with this. In the world, I guess they have these little box kits they put together in New York City. Have you heard of this? Not just a pop-up shop, but publicists have a client where they put a kit together. They put a bunch of different sampler stuff in there, and then they kind of ship it out to different people and then get their impressions on it. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Okay.
Is that kind of what you're referring to?
I don't know much about that.
Okay, got it.
I don't know much about that, but probably sounds like a similar concept.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, but we'll get into more of that later. But I just thought, okay, let's throw that out for the listening audience. Okay, you go off and get to your beautiful family. Thank you so much for getting up. I'll get back to mine, and I'll talk to you later. I think we did great.
Thank you so
Sophie, give her a hug. Tell her
I will
thank
do
you
that.
So much. All right, dear. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Okay.
You too, dear.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, folks, that was both Emily and Sophie Gutter, of course, my clients, my amazing clients. I can't say enough about them. So, again, one more time, I want to remind everybody of how to find these wonderful people. Again, the product is found on the website itself, which is www.chessforchicas.com. If you go to her YouTube channel, it's Chess Chica. If you go to Facebook, it's Chess for Chicas. She, of course, has her Twitter. See, I've talked too long, which is Chess Chica on Twitter. We want to make sure that we get that right because, like I said, we were having some issues with that at one point in time, but I think we've worked that out as far as that goes. Obviously, of course, on our Instagram, it is the actual name itself, which is Chess for Chicas, so please do me a favor, follow them all over the place if you would. One more time, the name of the book is Chess for Chicas, How to Play Chess and Love It. That can be found on the website. $19.95 is the retail price on that, and the actual pink and yellow polka dotted Chess for Chicas chess set, $24.99. You can order both on there. Otherwise, you can go to Amazon.com in terms of finding our products. Wait to check on social media because, of course, I'll be posting up the Hip New Jersey segment along with all the different places she's at, magazine and newspaper-wise, and then keep your eyes and ears open for book signings and events. So, don't want to forget to mention all that. So, like I said, I'll be spending the rest of my weekend and the rest of my week with my beautiful children. I anticipate getting to New York sooner than later because we have to start shooting. I know that my dear Michelle Renee might be listening in today. I hope she's listening in because I want to know why the hell she hasn't been on my show yet. Yes, that's a very subtle, sweet nudge. Michelle Renee needs to be on my show. To those of you that may not be familiar, she's being kind and gracious enough to allow me to actually don her gowns in my movie. So check it out. Michelle Renee Designs and Wedding Gown Alterations. Just your name is Michelle, Michelle, Renee, Rene. She can be found on Facebook. She can be found on Instagram. She has her entire website. Check her out. I can't even begin. I cannot even tell you how phenomenal her product line is. And in fact, I probably will be telling you that because I know she's going to come on my show. www.michellereneedesigns.com is the website. I want to say a huge thank you to everybody that listened in today. Thanks so much to my children for being patient because they're awake now. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and then I'll talk to you guys Monday, 12 Central Standard Time. Take care.